Do you know, I lose track of what I do record and or upload. I'm going to telephone I just looked and I'm going to telephone my father sometime today. That should be, it's not on the calendar. Why does it do that? Have I updated? A couple of weeks ago? What's the date today? A week ago. I can check. Just by checking back messages from her. Date today is exactly a week ago. I learnt from my sister that her husband had died. So I'm just checking back to see when I last recorded. A video and uploaded it. There you go, 28th. Yeah, so it was before this happened, so I haven't shared this with anyone yet. A week ago I got a message from my sister saying that her husband had died. Now, my friend said, well, that's great, she must be so happy. But that's her projecting her view of relationships. I do know, and I understand that it was far from an ideal relationship, from what little I know. I was going to have a shave, because this is awful. I'm distracting myself from more important matters. I'm hunching. Stop it. But now I'm too far away. I could change the position of the camera, but I can't be bothered. I know from speaking to my father, which again is relatively recent, as my avid followers will know, that I didn't know he was alive until a month or so ago. A couple of months ago, April, I think. I learned from him that my sister's husband was an alcoholic, and last time I spoke to him 2 weeks ago, I found out that she didn't know he was an alcoholic until October last year. He also had cancer, which I think is what carried him off. What was it? I ought to know this really. I think it was pneumonia. Why do I think it was pneumonia? Pneumonia as well as the cancer. So I guess it was a combination of the two. And he'd been ill for a while. And I got the impression he'd had some mental issues and he'd been in hospital for that as well. But I don't have that sort of relationship with my sister. I've never had that sort of relationship with anyone. If somebody tells me, I will listen, but I'm not going to ask. So where were we? He'd been in hospital, he'd been ill for a long time. She had not been able to take her work the way she wanted to. She sounds a bit resentful. She's told me that she doesn't have books in the house because he doesn't like it, and has to have the television there instead, which my friend sees as signs of control and abuse. Hence one of the reasons that she must be glad he's died, but I'm not going down that route because I don't subscribe to that at all. Whatever the state of the relationship, there is some care there. I can speak from my own situation, which is difficult, and I don't want to talk about that in this video. Yeah, she's died, so I haven't heard from her for a couple of weeks, but then we didn't communicate that often anyway. And the situation has made it, this current development, straighten up, has made it more difficult for me to communicate, to think what to say. Do you know, selfishly, as I was lying awake last night, did I have anything more to say about this? I feel sorry for her. I would like to be able to help, but I don't know what I can do. I made the offer, which I think was genuine. I discussed this with my friend. And I said, well, if she were to say, look, jump on the next plane, I need you out here. She wouldn't. I haven't seen her for 40 years, for fuck's sake. Would I do it? I like to think I would. Until I'm put to the test, I don't know, but I like to think I would. Even though it would be abandoning the failed relationship here, to which I feel I still have loyalty. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about there. I intend to speak to my father today, which is I realise now that was a mistake, because what I have done is I've taken some medicine today which will make it, oh, this always brings tears to my eye, this music which you probably can't hear. It's difficult to speak. It will be difficult to speak to my father whilst I'm experiencing what I am experiencing, or beginning to experience. Going off another tangent then. I was lying awake at last night after a scene with my wife, thinking, really, I have to go. I owe it to her to be honest and to go. But as I've said in another video, which I may or may not post, I haven't listened back to see if any of these are even remotely audible. How do I go? Quite apart from the saying it, expressing it. I have no money, no job, nowhere to go. I need to address that. But after the scene, lying awake at night, just thinking how awful I am and how trapped I feel and have felt for bloody years. Do you know, during the scene, I can't say anything. There are so many things I want to say that I could say, but I can't. Because they will hurt my wife, they will appear as just tit for tat. That I felt for years that I'm just there as a convenience. She takes me for granted, she uses me. That I have felt my whole life that I have no value other than in the service that I can provide to others. And this has underpinned the marriage, the relationship the whole time. And it's become increasingly apparent that I am taken for granted, that she does her own thing, relies on my support in whatever she chooses to do. But I sound like moaning. She doesn't listen to anything I say. It's got progressively worse. But she doesn't listen to or value anything I say that is personal, so I don't say anything personal, or very little. This wasn't meant to be a moaning video. I hope it doesn't sound too much like that. it became increasingly aware that we'd sit down in the evening, I would try and say something, and she would just snap back, tell me she was busy, or she'd just ignore it. She didn't have any idea what I did, what I was doing, because she didn't listen to what I told her. Partly it was the stress of her sister's illness. I accept that. But I also believe it went beyond that. It's something that had been going on for years. I could post a link to this music, which is absolutely beautiful. Do you know I might do that? Rather amusing idea, actually. I could even put that one on again, it's so beautiful. It'll come round. I don't know what that is. You may not be able to hear this. Where was I? 11 minutes already. Things that I want. Yes, I needed to say, but couldn't. This disconnect, this feeling that I just was here to serve. And other than that, I was just disregarded. I can't tell her that, because she will twist it round into say, oh, for all these years we've lived a lie and you've resented it. No, I haven't resented it. It's just who I was. And I don't want to say that you've become worse, but your big behaviour has become more marked. And I've become more aware. And that's the change. I haven't lived with years of resentment. It's just that I have become more aware of the balance or imbalance in the relationship, and that there is more to life than that, more to my life, that I don't only have value to serve, that I can derive joy from doing things in my own right. It's just unfortunate that this realization and recalibration, if you like, has affected our relationship so drastically. There have been other things going on, for me and for her, which have affected it. I'm losing myself, and it's partly the herbal medicine which is doing this to me. Lying awake after this one-sided scene last night, I didn't want to walk out on it because it's like I'm walking out on the relationship, but I had to in the end because I was falling asleep. I was in so much discomfort standing there from my back and shoulders. And something strange was happening with my vision, in that it was going black and coming down to a little pinprick of light. I don't know, it was like I was on the verge of fainting. And I had to go, so I did. I went. And I will face the repercussions of that later. I'm not looking forward to it. Anyway, go back. This is about the 10th time I've started saying this. Lying awake last night with the discomfort and horror that had been going on, thinking, where the fuck do I go? How do I escape? Because I would lose my work, my income, virtually all the money I have. And where would I live? How would I live? Anyway, I had a bizarre, selfish thought came to me. So I can start yawning. That's the medicine. I don't know why I should apologise. I cut it short anyway. Something I'm working on, not cutting it short. My sister might say, this was my thought last night, my sister might say, can you, or you can, come and stay with me? I got a house, I'm on my own. And I thought I could do that for a month, a week, a month. Couldn't be for longer. I couldn't contribute. It's fantasy, I know I couldn't. I know I couldn't do it. And she wouldn't want it. I couldn't accept even if she offered. But it was at that time, at 4 o'clock in the morning, an escape route, somewhere I could go. But it would still leave me with, if it ever happened, in that fantasy, it would still leave me with the issue of, what do I do? What am I going to live on? Where am I going to live? That is the medicine. It offered a glimmer of hope, false hope. It was interesting. The noise outside is my friend's landlord playing with motorbikes, which is what he does all day. I expect he'll stop for lunch fairly soon. At which point I might go and look at the chickens. I should have picked up some food for the young turkeys, but I didn't. It's not my face anymore. It's definitely time to stop. Thanks for listening. I don't think I've said anything, but thanks anyway.